everybody? Welcome back to Old School Scares, and we're now in the end of our vampire section of our 31 Days of Horror for Halloween. And with our last movie, we're going to save one of the best for last, and a movie that genuinely scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid, Martin. This movie came out in 1976. It's listed as 76 or 77. It's about an hour and 30 minutes long. It is by George Romero, and is very different than anything Romero had done before, or even since. It is way more atmospheric. It is about a young man who believes he is an ancient vampire who has these blood cravings, no fangs, but he's just a genuinely creepy, scary young man in the movie. And he moves in with his cousin in like rural Pennsylvania, just like back then. All that stuff was shot in Pennsylvania with the Romero movies. You know, the first Night of Living Dead was as well. And it's a really good sense of dread. You know, in the late 70s, there was kind of, this free love type vibe. So, he's an attractive young man who goes and finds women to take home with him. And again, without too many spoilers, it's how he's trying to walk away from craving blood from people. I saw this with my dad. My dad was also a horror movie junkie, just like my mom was. And he showed me this movie, and I want to say it was the early 80s. And man, this movie stuck with me for a long time. And it really remained one of my favorite vampire movies of all time. I said Near Dark is probably my favorite vampire movie. I would tell you that Martin is probably my second favorite vampire movie. And it's very different. It's very much a slow burn movie. It's all about atmosphere. It's all about pacing. It's all about scares. And there's a couple in there. Again, there will be a little bit of spoiler on the scare here. But when he actually decides the first time he's actually going to take blood from one of his victims, and he pulls out a razor blade and slices her wrist and just starts drinking the blood, man, it gave me chills, especially at the time. It was very, very creepy. And it takes away from some of the campiness of the vampire myth. I think out of the movies we talked about today, all of them respect the vampire genre that we've talked to in the first 10 days. But I think this, and Near Dark, and probably John Carpenter's Vampires have a different appreciation of the vampire mythos and take it more seriously than some of the other movies that we've talked about. So I hope you've enjoyed the vampire section of our movies. I would ask that you go and check all of them out. I think you'll have a great time if you want to get into that mindset. Maybe binge watch them all on a weekend, or watch one per day like we've talked about. I'm very excited. We're going to get into some werewolf movies starting tomorrow, starting with the original classic, The Wolfman. So I look forward to sharing that with you. If you haven't done so far, please hit the like and subscribe button. We appreciate everybody for checking out our videos. And as always, stay scary.